Alright, welcome back to the Hardcore Mod. We're gonna have some fun today. I am so excited. I am like on cloud nine. Everyone is so excited. I'm excited. We're all excited. I don't even know what other word to use other than excited. But it's gonna be fun today. We're gonna have a blast today. So thank you for coming. Running from Boulder, Barrett front row, but only one time for fun's sake. I think Barrett will get absolutely massacred if he's in the front row. To be honest, I do not think that's going to go very well. Do not think it's going to go over very well. So I came up with an idea to kind of spice things up today, since you know, we're in the desert and you know, deserts are long and tedious. Also, let me know what the sound is like, because it looks like the game's a little loud right now. Oh yeah, you're right, I need to move the window slightly. Yo, Kez is here. How's it going, dude? Good to see you, man. Volume's fine? Okay. So, oh wow, Shiva did not do very much damage. I was hoping for a little more Shiva damage. I gotta get back in the groove. I gotta remember who's got what. Did we just get a subscription? Graze MDL with the subscription. Wow. Thank you so much, man. You're like, you just came to my stream after not, you know, you took a break from the stream, you came back, boom, already subscribing. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that, like, so much. Thank you so much. Welcome to the 4-8 crew. Enjoy your awesome emotes. And most importantly, remember, I love you. Thank you so much, man. Get some foam finger in the chat for Gray's fantastic subscription. Thank you, thank you. Some death wow faces to enjoy that subscription. So, anyways, I thought about spicing up the conversation today. I don't know where I found this list. It's on Wiki, but like, I don't know how I got to it. I was just like researching something and it came up. But this is the list of the best video games of all time. This isn't according to anyone. This is a actual compilation of like all the best game ever lists from all of the like magazines and like, you know, IGN and GameSpot and all of them. They took like 50 lists or something, and then they compiled the games that were on those lists the most, and then made their own list. So this is like the compilation of every best list ever to come up with the actual best games ever made according to everybody. So I thought we would talk about this just because, I don't know, it sounded interesting. I bet you can guess what the first one is, what number one is. See if anyone can guess it. It's a pretty easy guess, I think. Well, I don't know. Maybe not that easy, but what is, according to everyone, what is the best video game of all time? Oh, you've seen it? Alright. Good. Thanks for not spoiling it. Thank you, Blaze. How's it going, Blaze Homewrecker, by the way? How you been? I don't know if I can kill this guy. He's probably got like a 7 bajillion health. I'm letting some more people guess. But someone already got it right. Cowl of Duty. No, according to this list, the greatest game ever made is Ocarina of Time. Gordo got it right. Right off the bat. He was the first one to guess, and he got it right. I kind of see that. Like, I can see it. It definitely doesn't surprise me that the most people listed that as the best. Like, I think a lot of the lists that I've looked at have said Ocarina of Time. So it doesn't, like, surprise me. Oh my god, he has so much health. this might not turn out too well for us. So yeah, it's not as like a surprise at all. Do I think Ocarina of Time should be the greatest game ever made? I don't know. I'm not a big Legend of Zelda fan, so I'm probably a bad person to talk about it. I've just never been a Legend of Zelda fan. It's not that I think it's bad or anything. I've just never been a fan. Wasn't my cup of tea back in the day. The first game kind of ruined it for me because I played the first game, and although the first game is a masterpiece, it is very confusing and very difficult for a young child to understand. So I kind of gave up like on Legend of Zelda early because I played the first one. I was like, I don't understand this game. I liked it, but I didn't get it. So when the second one came out, I didn't even bother, and then I didn't play Ocarina of Time till like a while after it came out. And at that point, some of the shininess had worn off. Catch my drift. I guess, I mean, the thing is, it's got memorable characters. It has an iconic soundtrack. It had really good graphics back then. Stellar gameplay. Changed the way targeting systems work in 3D games for the rest of time. I think it has everything that the greatest game ever made should have. It was innovative. It was memorable. There isn't really any huge flaws with it, other than maybe Nami yelling at you, which a lot of people think is like the one issue with the game. I don't know. I guess maybe I'm not super convinced that it's the best game ever made, but I definitely think it deserves a spot on the list, if nothing else. Like, I don't think it's a bad game or anything like that. Like, it's a fantastic game. I think a lot of people might say that the new Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, might even be better. Like, some people are saying, like, that's just straight up the best game ever made. I don't know about that, but I think, honestly, if you want my honest opinion, I think that the new Legend of Zelda was just kind of like, oh my god, it's a new Legend of Zelda, it's the greatest thing ever made, but I think it's going to wear off after some time. Like, I don't think people are going to continue to think it's the greatest game ever in a few months. But I guess we'll see. How come Red 13 is doing so little damage? Well, his regular attack was doing no damage. Because I have him set to use magic. But Blizzard's doing like 800 damage. Red 13's doing the most damage, but I had him attack that one time because I wasn't paying attention. Maybe even more than one time, I don't know. I was half paying attention to that fight and half talking about Legend of Zelda. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not convinced that Ocarina of Time is the greatest game ever made. But if you think that Ocarina of Time is the greatest game ever made, I could totally see your argument. You know what I mean? Like, totally makes sense to me that you would think that, and I wouldn't call you out and be like, nah, it's not the greatest game ever made. Like, I think there's a pretty good argument for it, but I wouldn't say for me it's the best game ever made. I don't think it was really innovative enough. Like, there were more games that were innovative to the 3D realm than Ocarina of Time was. The targeting system was extremely innovative, and everyone copied off it, or at least tried to copy off it later, but I don't know. I think the one thing that the Ocarina of Time really has going for it is that it's such a grand adventure. Like, it was just, I think it blew a lot of people's minds when it came out, just because of how grand and big it was, and we hadn't really experienced anything like that before. So it was, for the time, it was just incredible. But does it still hold up today? Yes and no. I think it does, but I don't know. I really don't have much bad to say about it. I just simply think maybe it's not the greatest game ever made. Graves with the 500 bits! Thank you so much, man. Alice is about to lose her head. I thought she had less than that. Maybe she was at 700. I thought it said 500. Anyways, thank you so much. Foam fingers for that great donation. See if Ifrit does anymore. Probably not. I think I'm gonna have to hang out by the truck a little bit and grind. Because I can't kill the sandworms. I could probably run away from them and just get through the desert anyways, but I'm not sure I want to. If I can't kill the sandworm, I feel like I'm not going to be able to kill Dying. And Barrett's probably a little under-leveled because he hasn't been in my party. Are you guys sure that the game isn't like way too loud? On my end, it looks like it's really loud. It looks like you can barely hear me talking. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe Ifrit was just really loud. Final Fantasy VII and Ocarina of Time are very similar in terms of fanbase and history. Yeah, I would agree with that. What's up, Thugbeard? Inflated HP difficulty mods. Oh yeah. Well, luckily this mod doesn't do that too often. That was the Nightmare mod for me. The Nightmare mod was terrible. It was just like every enemy had so much HP, just sit there for hours smacking it. It wasn't any harder. Well, it was harder, but it was also just a marathon. This one isn't too much. I can see why they gave the sandworm a ton of HP, just because it's a freaking sandworm. But most of the bosses still have around the same amount of HP. They're just harder. Alright, I'm going to turn down the volume just slightly, because I feel like it's way too loud. And you guys are familiar with Final Fantasy VII sounds. I don't think you need... You don't need to hear the sounds as much. So anyways, that was number 1 on the list. Let's see what number 2 on the list was. Number 2 on the list of greatest games ever made is Tetris. And this is where things get kind of, like, confusing for me. Whenever people talk about the greatest games ever made, I always ask, like, do you mean the most innovative games ever made, or the funnest, most well-designed games ever made? Because I don't think Tetris is that, like, incredibly fun every single time you play it, unless you're, like, a Tetris master or someone that plays Tetris all the time. But, like, for the average person, anyone can pop in Ocarina of Time and be like, wow, this is an incredible game. But you kind of have to understand Tetris to enjoy it as much as, like, Tetris masters do. So, yeah, like, it's a little too simple to be the greatest game ever, I think. But then you can make the argument that it was just so, like, massive to the market. Like, it's just huge. Like, Tetris changed so many things. Tetris has been made so many times. You know, it was like a pioneer for the puzzle genre and like video gaming in general. And Tetris is huge in Japan too. Like, it's hard to really like understand it if you've lived in the United States all your life. But Tetris is giant in Japan. Like, Tetris might as well be Mario in Japan. Like, you could see a poster with a Tetris block on it. Like, it is huge in Japan. There have been so many different iterations of Tetris and Tetris type games, and there's so many like Tetris masters in Japan, and so it's really, really, really big there, bigger than it is here. So that's kind of one thing that we might like think like, oh, you know, who talks about Tetris? Well, they actually still talk about Tetris. And yeah, Tetris is another pick up and play game. I guess the way I said it was kind of wrong. You can definitely pick up Tetris and enjoy it. It's a very simple and easy game to understand, but hard game to master. But what I was saying is, like, no one's going to play Tetris and be like, this is the greatest game ever made, unless they understand the history and they've played it for years and, you know, are really good at it. They'll enjoy it, but no one, you know... If I gave Tetris to my mom and it was like, here, this is the greatest game ever made, she'd be like, what? You're just dropping blocks. Like, you know what I mean? So it takes a little bit more understanding to, you know, whereas Ocarina of Time, you could like show it to my mom and she'd be like, wow, this is cool. I don't know about my mom would probably be like, what is this garbage? But you know what I mean. Tetris Bikini DLC. Yeah, we need more Tetris DLC, please. I don't know why, but this dog has got like the goofiest face. Oh my god, I used question mark, question mark, question mark. And I learned it, but I died. So I don't think I learned it. I would love to learn that skill this early, though. Oh my god, I did learn it. I guess, do you learn it if you die as long as everyone doesn't die? Well, that's awesome. Now, question. Sleeping in the truck, does it revive Barrett? I think it does. I'm pretty sure all sleeping in this game revives people except Tense. A typical parrot napping on the job. I mean, my mom would enjoy Tetris. I'm just saying, I think she would find it a little weird that it was the greatest game ever made. You know, if you just showed her Tetris. Just plain old Tetris and it's like, everyone in the world voted this the greatest game ever made. She'd probably be a little confused. There's just not much there unless you dig deeper, you know? Alright, so third on the list. Third on the list is Super Mario 64. I can pretty much agree with that. I would think, honestly, I would put Super Mario 64 over Ocarina of Time. But I think at that point it's just it's more of an opinion thing than anything. I think both games are incredible for different reasons. So like I don't know how you even make that. It's like putting two titans together. It's like how do you even decide who wins? It's Ocarina of Time and Mario 64. But I would personally put Mario 64 over Ocarina of Time, which is probably just me being biased because I played Mario 64 like it was my job back in the day, and Ocarina of Time I never even played when I was younger. So it's probably me being biased, but I think Super Mario 64 just brought a lot more to the industry and is just, it's timeless. Like, I think Ocarina of Time, you can play any Zelda and you're getting a lot of what you got out of Ocarina of Time. There's the characters and the music and the journey and everything of Ocarina of Time that's unforgettable. But, like, there's nothing like Mario 64 for me. That game is just so timeless. I could go back to it and enjoy it just like I did when I was a kid, like right now. It's just so, like, I've never played a game like it. It's just too good. I'm kind of grinding. I'm just trying to get Barrett to a reasonable level. And now that I know that this enemy has question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, which is supposed to be Pandora's box, I guess. I kind of want to get it for my other materia, but we'll see what happens there. I think he's going to use it right now. Oh, I used it on Barrett, though. Need him to use it on Cloud. Oh, wait! That was on Cloud. Oh, he blocked it! Oh, what a god! He blocked it and got it. What a guy. What a champion. That was pretty legit. That was pretty freaking legit. I wonder if Pandora's box would work really well against the sandworm. The reason I'm over here too is that once you go in the desert, you're kind of stuck there for a while. So I was just like, this might be a good place to grind. I mean, that truck is like an incredible place to grind because you can just rest for free. We're playing the Insane Trilogy later, Amela. After the hardcore mod, we're playing the Insane Trilogy, possibly like all night if we hit the donation incentive. If not, probably just for a while. But I'm gonna play the crap out of that game. I can't wait to play it. Alright. Number 4 in the greatest games ever made is Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. I understand that one. Link to the Past is a lot of people's favorite games. A lot of people choose that as their favorite game is what I'm trying to say. So, it makes sense to me that, oh, I just realized that summons take a lot of MP. I think they take more than usual. Does Ifrit only take 66 MP? That sounds like a lot. Yes, we're going through a list that I found of every best games list ever made, all compiled into one. And then from there they ranked what everyone says is the best video games ever made. So that's kind of cool. Like, the new threat mod just made it so you can only summon summons once. This mod just makes it so they're a lot more expensive, which I kind of like better, because it was kind of sad to me that I couldn't level up my summons during the new threat mod. They all were just one level and you can only summon them one time. But in this mod you can still level them up and still get more uses out of them. They just cost more. Also, I think Red 13 got Cure too. That's pretty sweet. Well, don't look up the list. Guys, you guys are ruining it. Why do you want to see the list? I'm going through the whole list. Just sit back, relax, talk about games. Come on now. What are you doing? That's the whole point, is for us to talk about it. Also, I didn't even realize Whitnum is the new bit boss. Thank you, man. Good luck surviving. So, yeah, I can understand why Link of the Past is on there. I mean, there's no argument against that. It's just a really good game. I don't know a lot about it, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but it's a good game, for sure. I'm going to try this and see what happens. I'm probably just going to run from this because I'm going to waste so much on this guy and probably not get anything out of it. Yeah. I mean, I could maybe kill him, but it's like probably not going to be worth it. At least not now. So 5th on the list is Chrono Trigger, which also makes sense. A lot of RPGs, a lot of like adventure RPG type games on the top of the list. I think that they make more of a lasting impact. You know what I mean? Like, you could make the greatest shoot pew pew game ever, but they just, a lot of times they don't stick with you as well. Some, I mean, some do, obviously. Some, like Black Ops 2, even though it's Call of Duty, and people make fun of Call of Duty, including myself. The story from Black Ops 2 is still like, or Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1? Black Ops 1 is still like a really great story to me, and I would play through it again. And there's some games, you know, that boast like controls and everything, and not really story, but then the story is still good. But yeah, JRPGs kind of dominate the top of the list. But yeah, Chrono Trigger, what else is there to say about Chrono Trigger? A lot of people say Chrono Trigger has the greatest soundtrack of all time. And it's Chrono Trigger. What else is what else can you say about Chrono Trigger? Number 6 is Street Fighter 2. And it says The World Warrior. I never knew that was the subtext for Street Fighter 2. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think of that? I'm not a fan of Street Fighter. I don't like Street Fighter. I think it's a good game. I just don't personally like it. I like combo type fighting games more, like Tekken. Mortal Kombat is kind of a hybrid. It's more special move focused. Basically, there's two different types of fighting games. There's special move focused and there's combo focused. Combo focused is like Tetris, Tekken, and Soul Calibur, and then special move focused is like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, where you're just putting in different button combinations to get one attack. And I prefer the combo style. I prefer like Tekken. So Street Fighter's never been that enjoyable for me. I suck at it. I don't like memorizing the combinations. I can never get them to work right for me. It's just not my thing. So I'm not a big fan of Street Fighter, so I'm probably not the best to talk about it. What do you guys think? Do you think Street Fighter 2 deserves to be that high up? I mean, think of all the games that Street Fighter is beating. Final Fantasy VII, all the Final Fantasies. There's not a single Final Fantasy on the list yet. All the Final Fantasies. I mean, it just like whatever your favorite game is. Street Fighter 2 is probably beating it. This list was not made by anybody. This list is a compilation of every list ever made, basically. All the big magazines, all the big video game places. It took every list ever and then compiled them all into one list. So, like, Ocarina of Time is the greatest game ever made because it made 48 of those lists. I think there was 50 lists total, and it made 48 of them. So that's why it's the best game. And then the next best game made, like, 47 lists. So, that's how they're ranking them. And Street Fighter 2 made more lists than any of the other games under it. When it was out, you had 6 kids sitting around a TV waiting for their turn. It was good fun. Yeah, I mean, I definitely think Street Fighter deserves to be on the list, like, for sure, because it was that game to bring like couch co-op to the masses. Like, it was one of the arcade hits that made fighting games and co-op games and competition games like really popular. I mean, because like the NES and game and systems before it, there wasn't really much like that. But arcades already existed. But I think Street Fighter really broke the mold, and it really broke the mold and made, like, you know, learning techniques and learning moves and showing off to your friends. Like, it made that a thing, you know. Am I going the wrong way? I forget how to get the dime. Maybe I'm supposed to go... I'm gonna go back. I think you're supposed to go to the right of the fence and then go straight. I think it's... yeah, I remember that now. I don't get this comment very often, but I got like 2 different people commented the other day saying that I like suck at this game because I don't remember every little tiny detail about the game. You have to understand, I haven't played this game casually in a very long time. I did speedruns of this game for a while. I've done the tutorial videos for a couple of years. And I've done an extensive amount of research about this game. But it's been a long time since I've literally just played through the whole game casually. I did for the new threat mod. That was the first time I had in forever. But I'm not the greatest at remembering little things. I remember, like, the stupid details that no one cares about, and then I forget the general, like, you have to go this way. Unless I practice it. And I don't go to the desert very often. So, that's kind of... I apologize. I always feel bad when I'm like... Everyone thinks I'm like the Final Fantasy VII guru, and then I forget some stupid crap like, where do you go in the desert? But, hey, you're watching it. That's just the way it is. I forget crap sometimes. I don't know what else to tell you. If you're on my video saying you're an idiot and you suck at this game, I'm not really sure why you're watching the video. You're wasting your time watching someone who sucks at a video game. I'm not sure where your life has gone. If you're just like, man, this guy sucks at this. This guy sucks at this Final Fantasy VII. This is the worst Final Fantasy VII player I've ever seen in my life. Click episode 48. I've watched 48 straight hours of this guy, and he sucks. Maybe I'm just that alluring. I'm so alluring that even though I suck, this guy will watch 48 straight hours of me. What's the next game on the list? We got next on the list is Final Fantasy VII. There you go. So far we got Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Tetris, Super Mario 64, Link to the Past, Chrono Trigger, Street Fighter 2, and then Final Fantasy VII. I'm glad that they kept the meme alive, and Final Fantasy VII is number 7 on the list. It's you got to keep that meme. You can't break the meme. That's right. I forget stuff on occasion. How dare you, Death Exposed? I forget stuff all the time. It's just the way I am. I don't know. I have a bad memory. I have a good memory with stupid crap, and then a bad memory with obvious crap. It's the way I am. It's the way I am. I don't know. I usually tell people that I don't think Final Fantasy VII is the greatest game ever made. I think it has too many flaws. The coding in this game is absolute trash. It has so much going for it, but it also has a few problems. And I think to be the greatest game ever made, you gotta be flawless, you know? So, I don't know if I would go ahead and call this the greatest game ever made. I think 7 is maybe a good spot for it. So I don't really super disagree with that. I think maybe it's better than Tetris. And I think maybe it's better than Street Fighter. But it's all at that point. It's all opinion. We're talking about incredible games. At that point, it's all about opinion. Like, what do you think is better? What do you think was more important to the gaming scene? So it's like it's hard to really put one above the other. Death, I've been meaning to say this for ages. For like the entire second half of your new type playthrough, you had unlocked Tifa's level 3 limit. Yes, I knew. Didn't notice because you just spammed past the level up screen and then never noticed for the rest of the time. I was like screaming at YouTube. Yeah, the issue with YouTube, like I get this problem all the time. Like, people come on my Twitch channel every once in a while and they're like, yo dude, you suck eggs. I hope you die in a fiery pit of doom. And I can tell them because I'm like there, you know, I'm like here live. I can be like, yo, dude, that's not nice. You shouldn't say that to people. Like I can rebuttal. Like someone could say like, wow, Death, how did you forget to unlock Tifa's level 3 limit break? And I can tell them like, oh, well, you see, I spam through stuff because I'm used to speedrunning this game, so I just spam through the level up scenes and sometimes I don't notice. And then unless you go all the way into the limit screen, you're never going to know that Tifa has her level 3 limit break, so there was no way for me to know, and no one in my chat told me, so oops, it got passed over. Oh well, not a big deal. But on YouTube, people can just leave this hate crap, and like I can't rebuttal, and I'm not going to take the time. Like, I do respond to some comments, but I'm not going to take the time to respond to every single YouTube comment that's absolute trash. Like, I'd just be wasting my time if I just sat here and answered all these 12-year-olds that are like yelling on my videos. So you're so much more vulnerable on YouTube. It really sucks. You can't, people will just yell at you for like, you have no defense, you know. It's kind of like if you went to a party and someone came up to you and you were like, yo dude, you're ugly, you can tell them like, hey, shut up, and like punch him in the face if you want. But on YouTube, it's almost like, you know, someone goes to a different party and says, hey, that Death guy is so ugly, and then like everyone at the party agrees, and then they all hate you the next day, and you didn't even have a chance to like, hey man, that's not nice. You get no rebuttal, you get no defense. So it kind of sucks, but I'm used to it. I've been doing YouTube for 9 years, so it's just one of those things you get used to after a while. And I try to respond to some comments that are like easy to respond to, but if people are just like, they don't even know, like if he had left that comment, if Blaze Home Wrecker had left like, hey, I've been meaning to tell you this, you know, I'm sorry to say, but you forgot, like, I would respond to that because he was nice about it. But I don't respond to comments that are just like, you're a douchebag. Like, alright. Alright. Like, you just don't respond to those people. The old Dairy Queen Whopper maneuver. You don't respond to idiots like that. You're just feeding into it. Unsubs and runs. Alright. Let's see how hard Dyne is. It's probably gonna roast me. You got anything to steal? That hurts. unless I'm missing. Trolls do feed off your insecurities. That's the way it works. Somebody commented the other day, and they said that I complain too much. And I was like, at first I was like, well, I don't complain too much. Like, a lot of people ask me to like rant more. Like, a lot of people ask me to complain more because they like to hear me complain. So I'm just giving people what they want, and you know, I don't think that's really a problem or anything, and so I just kind of left it. And then later I was thinking, I'm like, man, maybe I do complain too much. Maybe all I do is sit here and complain, and people are getting sick of it. Maybe I should stop complaining. So like, you get so insecure about like one stupid thing that someone said on YouTube, like, that doesn't even know you, that probably watched 2 minutes of a video, doesn't know who you are, doesn't know what you do, doesn't know your fan base, doesn't know anything. They just seen 2 minutes of a video and they say something, but then you sit there and think about it like it's actually something you should take into consideration. It like sucks. It, you know, and I've literally sat here and thought about it, like through the whole. I'm like, okay, well, you know, I do complain a lot, but it's just the way that, like, because I'm mad at the way video games are made nowadays, so it's kind of understandable that I would complain too much. And every time that I complain, I always give a very concise argument as to why I'm complaining, so that justifies my complaint, when really I should just be saying, it's my channel, I'll complain if I want to complain. Like, what? Who are you to tell me not to complain? Don't watch my videos if you don't want to listen to me complain. Like, what the heck? Like, I shouldn't even be, like, thinking about that. But when people type stuff and it hits you right in the insecurity, then you just sit there and think about it. Like, man, is that guy right? Should I... That's how bullies work, man. They feed off that. They know exactly what it is that clicks you, you know. You'll be thinking about it for weeks, even though they thought about it for 2 seconds. He probably came up with that comment in like 2 seconds. He was just like, what can I say about this guy that, you know, well, he does complain a lot. Let me type that out. And then that's all he had to do. And now I've been sitting here thinking about his comment for a week. People think that stuff isn't hurtful, and it's not. It doesn't really hurt me anymore. After doing YouTube for 9 years, it's like nothing. I have such an iron defense at this point for that kind of stuff, because I know that those people either didn't even watch my video or don't know anything about me. But it still gets you to that. Like, I still read every single one, you know. And people think that stuff is just like, oh, I'll just type this and it'll be funny, but people, like, you really do affect people with that crap. And it's unfortunate because people normally won't say that stuff in real life. No, I don't think if that person knew me in real life, they probably wouldn't be like, yo, dude, you complain too much. They probably just wouldn't say anything. But because it's online and it's anonymous, they'll just do it because why not? Because it doesn't affect them. They don't see the repercussions of it. They just comment it and, you know, go back to whatever they were doing. They just go ahead and comment that and then go get some more chicken nuggets from mom. Hey, buddy. Doesn't matter to them. Thank you for the 100 bits, Strife. Appreciate it, man. Thank you for the 50 bits, Wittenum. You guys are the best. Foam fingers all over the chat. Thank you guys. You're the bomb. The bit count is a little slow. It'll hit the cup immediately and it'll hit the bit boss immediately, but the bit count takes a minute. Yeah, you tell him, Seymour. You tell him. Yeah, I was right, man. Yeah, I was right. Hey, get away from the PS4. We gotta play Crash with that later. Don't touch that. Thank you for the 100 bits, Grays. Hashtag death complains too much. My leg hair being short is my insecurity. That's interesting. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for sharing that beautiful fact of life with me. Sarah Brown with the 100 bits. Death gives pro sanity rant, but he going insane later. Oh yeah, you know what it is. Cerebrone with the new Bit Boss too. Congrats. Alright, what's the next game on this list? We talked about Final Fantasy VII enough. Super Metroid is number 8. I think that's probably a good one as well. Super Metroid is big. Man, that does so much damage. Yeah, I don't think anyone would argue with Super Metroid being that high. Maybe when you see the other games, you'll be like, maybe should be another one, but every bit does 1 bit of damage to the Bit Boss, and if you kill the Bit Boss, you become the new Bit Boss. And with however much overkill you do, that's your new health bar, with a minimum of being 100. Thank you for the 100 bits, Grays. Throwback to appreciate the funk. And you're the new Bit Boss. Congrats, Grays. What a boss. Need to drink my coffee. Alright, what's the next on the list? Super Mario World is the next on the list. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think the old Marios get a little too much credit just for being Mario. Like, yes, I do think Mario is incredible, especially Mario 3. But sometimes I feel like some people think that you just have to put Mario on the list because it's Mario. Like, if you're making a best games of all time list, Mario better be on there just because it's Mario. Like, I don't think so, really. I think at this point, Mario is Mario. You should take each game as what it is, you know what I mean? And yeah, I think I would agree. I would think Super Mario 3 is the best Mario ever. I think it gets no better than Super Mario 3. And I have like an absolute... Well, okay, I guess Super Mario 64 would be the best. But in terms of like 2D platformers, all the OG games, I think Mario 3 is the best. Some people might say World is better, but I like 3 better. I think the P meter and all the power-ups and the way that the worlds worked and the music, it's all just better. But I don't know, especially with like the original Mario. Like how many best games lists have you read where they just put like the original Mario on there? Like, I don't think it really deserves to be on there. Like, yeah, it was a great game back then, but every time I go back to it, I'm like, I die in 2 seconds and I'm like, alright, this was fun. Or I just warp to the end and I don't know. I just don't think it's I don't think it's the same. Okay, are we gonna die here? Oh my god. Oh, you know why? Because it's a freaking pincer battle. I forgot. Pincer battle means you lose. I forgot. My bad. I forgot. Pincer battles are a no-go. Anything behind you does 7 million damage. What's up, Lucifer? We're talking about the best games ever made, according to a wiki that compiled every best games list that they could find and put it all into one list. So let's see see what the next one is. The next one is GoldenEye 007. That is number 9, I think. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's number 10. Number 10, best game of all time, GoldenEye 007. I have to disagree with that one, but I did not grow up with 007, and I've heard that you really have to grow up with it to appreciate it. It's one of those games that, like, you play it now and you're like, why did people like this? But back then it was like the stuff, you know what I mean? I think most of it was just the multiplayer. I think a lot of people played the multiplayer with their friends and they were like, this is the greatest thing ever, and then they kind of looked past the actual gameplay and just thought it was the best thing ever because they played it with their friends. I've seen so many games like that. I don't agree with it. I played 007. I thought it was pretty good, but I wouldn't like. Oh my god, that thing just attacked like 4 times in a row. What in the world? Fool, how's it going, dude? It aged really terribly. That is for sure. And if you're talking about the best games of all time, you should probably at least take into consideration its age, because going back to play 007 is pretty terrible. The aiming is like god awful, and the graphics aren't even, in my opinion, like good for the time period. I mean, I don't know, humans are pretty hard to make on the N64, so I'll give them that, but even the levels are kind of bland. But yeah, the multiplayer is where, you know, it's just the experience, really. It's not actually the game, it's the experience. Which there's a lot to be said for that, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. If you're out there and you're like a super fan of GoldenEye, I don't mean to like poop on your parade or anything. If you think GoldenEye is like the greatest game ever made, then more power to you. I can understand the experience of playing it with your friends, or the experience of just getting that game when you were still new to gaming and having it be like so incredible. But I would have to disagree with it being that high on the list. I think it should maybe be on the list, but not number 10 of the greatest games of all time. I think that's maybe a little exaggerated. What's up, Whitehawk? Been a watcher on YouTube for a while now. Glad I'm able to catch a stream. Welcome, dude. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Thanks for coming, man. Alright, what's number 11? Number 11 is Half-Life 2. Another game I'm unfamiliar with. I am unfamiliar with a lot of the games on this list. Maybe I should, like, take this list and buy all the games on the list and play them all. I have played Half-Life 2, but it was only a little bit because I got so absorbed with Portal. Because I had Orange Box, but I was so absorbed with Portal that I was like, yeah, screw Half-Life. I liked Portal too much. Thank you, Grays, by the way, for the 100 bits. Death sucks at platformers, and I am totally abusing the bits function to get ridiculous comments noticed. Thank you. That's the point of the bit system. And yeah, I don't suck at platformers, buddy. Sorry. Hataru with the 300 bits. Little foam finger action for that. Playing his ob job. Hype. Thanks, man. You love my desktop pic? What's my desktop? Oh, the lightning picture. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like the flowers on the corner there. I only play Final Fantasy VII all day, every day. If I did, then I better know which way to go in the frickin' desert. If I did secretly only play this game, then maybe I wouldn't forget so much stupid crap. There's still little things about this game that I don't know. Like, for example, this. The other day, Crixie showed this. Oh, never mind. I can't because there's no PHS down here. Rip. And when you go in the PHS, you can actually look at the details of your characters. And probably like 80% of you people know that already. But then the other 20% are going to be like, what? And I was the 20%. I had never seen that before. I think you hit square or switch on PC, and it shows like how much materia they have and like what equipment they have and their stats and stuff. Never do that. What's up, guys? Yes, this is the hardcore mod, Whitehawk, where this is our current Final Fantasy VII series. I record it every Friday at 8:30 to 12:30, and then I put all the episodes on YouTube the following week. And we're up to episode like 15 right now. So you can go watch that on YouTube and catch up. And then this is going to be episodes 16 through whatever, 16 through 20 or 17 through 21. Whatever the next 4 episodes are. I think it's going to be... no, it would be 17 through 20. I can't count. It would be 17 through 20. I actually do have Kira. I just didn't really like prepare for dying. I was talking and just kind of walked right into him. But like, Red 13 has Kira, I could just put that on Barret. Alright, let's go fight Dyne again. Seymour agrees. Seymour agrees it's time to fight Dyne. I'll go rest in the truck one more time. I also didn't know about this truck the first time I played. It wasn't until later that I found it. Alright. This time we'll actually, like, pay attention. And do it right. Let's see what the next thing on the list is. We got Resident Evil 4 is the next on the list. I don't know about that one. One of the greatest games ever made. It's definitely a good game, but one of the greatest games ever made. What is that? Number 12? Did I say? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, number 12. Number 12 greatest game ever made. Resident Evil 4. You think? I definitely think it's a great game. 12th greatest game. I mean, just think of all the stuff that it's, like, beating, though. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems... that seems a little high for... I don't know. Maybe you're a super Resident Evil fan. There are a lot of super Resident Evil fans, for sure. A lot of people are really into Resident Evil. I think they only steal Gil here. I don't think they steal items. If they did, then oh well. Okay! Those things apparently have auto kill. That's good. Feels good, man. Is the desert prison basically Barret's hometown and the mining town is where the people relocate? No. Coral is his hometown. This is Coral Prison. So it's kind of still... it's like... you could say it's his hometown because it's still part of Coral, but it's the prison of his house, I guess. They're both kind of his home. Cactar! I ain't trying to fight that thing, it's gonna roast me. By the way, I say Cactar wrong. It's Cactuar, but I can't get used to saying Cactuar. So I always say Cactar. Good old Ronald Reagan. you know the drill. Ronald Regen. You know the drill on that one. A tiny sinking cactus. What's not to love? Oh! Yeah, that's why we're not fighting that thing. That's why we don't fight cactars. Okay, where is the thing? Hello? Hello? Seriously. I completely forget how the desert works. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Gotta bring out the honesty. Do not remember how it works. I could have swore you go right at the fence and then straight till you get to this and then you go right. Alright. Well, I guess it just took longer that time. I don't know. Alright, don't screw it up. Okay. Let's see. I probably want that. I do not want Shiva. I do not want Steel. I do not want Sense. Enemy skills, sure. Don't want that. This. I want this. Do I want magic or do I want to attack? I probably want to attack. Magic will lower my health a lot. So I'll probably just go with this, to be honest. I'll do Sense. I don't know if it'll work or not. I could also do Elemental. Do you think he could be poisoned? Probably not. I could give it a shot, though. No, I can't, because I can't put it in weapon. So I will do Elemental. Birdman Frost with the $5 subscription. Thank you so much. Foam Fingers in the chat. Welcome to the 4-8 crew. Love you, man. Thank you so much. Enjoy the emotes. I appreciate it a lot. Welcome to the crew, dog. I could do fire. I don't think any of his attacks do fire, though. Honestly, I kind of just want to leave it the way it is. Any more magic material, I'll just lower my health. And I don't think any of it's going to help me. So let's just put in all materia there to level it up. And then a chunk. What are some of the changes in the hardcore mod? The hardcore mod is mostly just boss and enemy like alterations. They're stronger, sometimes have more different abilities. It's mostly just a difficulty curve. It's mostly just the enemies are stronger and harder, more health, do more damage, sometimes have more abilities. There were some slight changes he made to materia and equipment and stuff for like balancing, but it's not like the new threat where everything does like brand new things. This is mostly still vanilla Final Fantasy VII, just with some minor tweaks. Alright, see what happens.